of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a few adjustments tonight. We are going to table, under new business, food service contract. We just need a little bit more time on that, and then the March financials with Cheryl as well.
We need to take a vote on that.
Yeah.
So who made the motion? We need to take a vote.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that.
I'll second
Okay,
that.
all right.
All in favor?
All in favor? All in favor, sorry. Where am I? Here. Okay, approval of minutes for Tuesday, March 29th, executive session 3 p.m., Monday, April 4th, executive session 5:15 p.m., Monday, April 4th, school committee meeting 6 p.m., and Monday, April 11th, executive session 12:30 p.m. Do I have a, okay, John Rue, John Mapes, all in favor? All in favor. Okay, public comments? Do we have anybody?
Nope.
Nope, nobody on Zoom or anything? Okay, it's a quiet night. Communications, letter from Mr. Philip B. Edelman, Ph.D., Associate Professor of Music Education, University of Maine School of Performing Arts, Orono, Maine.
Sure. So just wanted, we received this. This was sent to me back in the middle of April, and it was sent to our band teacher at the high school, Haley Francor, and also sent to our Sanford High School band and music students, staff, parents, and administrators of the Sanford High School band program. And what Philip sent was just a big thank you letter, as he was really impressed as he visited us recently and worked with our students. And he wanted to commend them on the commitment for performing music at the highest levels and pursuing excellence in musical endeavors. Was a joy that he was able to witness as he spent some time listening to, working with, and learning from everyone, and has much to be proud. So I know when I read that, that was just reaffirming to the commitment that our students and Ms. Franco are doing, so I thought it'd be important to be able to highlight that and give big kudos to our band program and our band students.
Okay, I just want to go back to public comments. I know today we received an email from Colleen Parody talking about Sanford Pre-K program. Just wanted to say thank you for sending the email, and we are discussing it and aware of the issues. Thank you so much. Okay, next is committee reports, construction projects.
Sure, construction projects. Right now, we're looking at sending off a letter with our attorney about the closeout plan for the high school technical center project. That's at that point now, so I'll be sending that out, getting our legal counsel on how we can proceed in closing that project out, and also looking to have a building committee meeting touring all of our buildings. We haven't had a chance to formally do that because of COVID. But we're looking to do that now, and so tentatively, I am looking at Monday, next Monday, May 2nd, between 3 and 5 p.m. I was talking with the city today, Larissa. It looks like that might be able to work, at least on their side, on any professional work that has to be done for the city council members. So we're looking to do that. 3 to 5, we'll start right at Sanford Middle School. We'll move over to Pride, and then finish up at Margaret Chase Smith to have people have an opportunity to see those schools for our building committee. And then also, I did receive a quote back from Harriman regarding the kitchen area. We had to value engineer some of the projects out of that for the walk-in freezer and cooler and storage area for our one of our food service programs. And so we're looking to put that back into place, and so we did receive that quote, and it looks like it is falling into what we look for our budget. So we will continue to look at that and be able to try to take action. As I mentioned in a previous meeting, we're probably not going to be able to get that work done this summer just because of the time crunch when it comes to ordering of materials and also the labor crunch. But that is something that is moving along, and that is the construction update. Moving on to the Scheduling Advisory Committee. So we had a good productive meeting prior to the April school vacation, and we've developed a plan to be able to get some feedback from our stakeholders. So today, Sanford High School used their Spartan time in a planned circle activity, and that was something where those guiding questions that we're trying to get answers to in terms of feedback for the schedule revolving around what a schedule would need, what a schedule would want, and what a schedule can't have when you're looking at a high school schedule. So that circle activity was done with students today. On Wednesday, we're going to expand that circle activity to our staff, our faculty and staff of SRTC in the high school. At our last meeting, we worked on trying to make sure that those circles were not content specific, but they were kind of more a variety of people to be able to provide those feedback around those guiding questions of what a high school schedule needs, what a high schedule, what people want, and what are those things we can't have. That'll take place this Wednesday. We're going to get that data. We'll work to collate that. Our next meeting is looking to have that on Wednesday, May 11th, doing that at 1:30 p.m. And so that's an update on the Schedule Advisory Committee.
Thank you. I don't have anything in particular for Sanford Performing Arts Committee. I'm not sure if Grace has anything that you would like to.
One thing I was going to mention in my student report is that this Friday and Saturday, the junior high is putting on a production of Moana Junior. So if everyone who is interested, you can purchase your tickets online. I know I am going on Friday, and I think it's going to be really cool to see the young actors coming up, to see how much they'll grow as they go into high school. So,
Thank you. Okay, superintendent's reports.
Okay, let's start with Grace. Continue on, if you don't mind. That's a nice segue right into your student report, and then we can also look to Bella and JP for their input.
yeah, so I was just going to mention that really right after April break is when the senior festivities start to kick off. And so I know that next Wednesday, May 11th, is the Top 50 banquet at the Elks Club. Oh, is it the 4th? It's the 4th, sorry. I know you were supposed to receive a letter in the mail, and they're going to stream that because parents and guardians. Oh, just kidding. They're recording it. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. And so there's that we're looking forward to. And then continuing on the track of seniors, on the 24th is the NHS senior send-off. And so I think we're all looking forward to celebrating the seniors in NHS. And then on the 26th is the SRTC recognition night. So we've got a lot of things coming up.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about Spring Formal is on April 29th, and that should be, a good, fun student event for kids to kind of just have a good time, like meet up with friends, that kind of thing. We also have, I was going to talk about the Spartan time, circle times that we had today on the schedules. I personally thought that ours was really effective and engaged, which I was surprised because, of course, you've always got kids who just want to check out, especially during Spartan time, and everybody was, involved, everybody was voicing their opinions, everyone was being respectful of others, and there was some really good kind of feedback on what affected them, and so it definitely was a very wide range of kind of ideas and opinions regarding that, and so I thought that was really effective and good use of our time. And then I also want to talk about the farmers market, which the first weekend, Mother's Day weekend, May 7th, 8 to 12 p.m., which is a Saturday. We're going to have plenty of Mother's Day gifts, plenty of fresh produce, plants, seedlings, all that kinds of things, possibly some flowers and that kind of thing. And so it should be really good start off of the season.
I'll echo Bella's part about the Spartan time table discussions. I think that was really awesome and very productive. Prior to break on the 14th, NHS had their variety show, which was awesome. I think we I don't know how many acts we had, but we had quite a few, and it was awesome. 17 acts, yes. And then spring sports are in full swing. There was several games over break, and I know that the track team has their first meet on Thursday in Biddeford.
Thank you, students. Best of luck in the track meet, and also to our middle school students this Friday and Saturday for their performance at the Sanford Performing Arts Center. Moving on to field trips, I'm proud to announce that one of those rites of passage, I think, that we've always done for the Sanford schools is the Mount Major hiking trip. And that's something that we've had to put on pause due to COVID, but that's coming back. And we'll be looking to do that for our Sanford High School students on May 24th, with May 26th as a rain date. That usually impacts almost about 200 students in grades 9 through 12. Moving on to the Safe Return to School and Continuity of Instruction Plan. I wanted to announce that York County as a whole, the COVID level is still identified as low. If we look at the cases that we had since our last meeting after April 4th prior to the school vacation, there were 24 total cases. Those broke down 6 at the high school, 8 at the middle school, 6 at MCS, 3 at CJL, and 1 at Pride. Also today, we had our COVID results. Remember, with the school vacation last week, there were no reporting that was done. So we did have 19 cases reported today that go all the way back to last week or anytime after April 15th. And those 19 cases break down to today to 5 at CJL, 3 at MCS, 5 at the high school, 3 at the middle school, 1 at Pride, 2 at SRTC. Right now, prior to the April school vacation, Governor Mills and her administration announced that pool testing for COVID-19 in Maine schools will conclude in May. Reasons given were that it's reduced effectiveness in limiting the spread of the highly contagious BA.2 variant, and also the widespread availability of free and convenient at-home tests for students and school staff for that. So right now, what we're looking to do is that pool testing, the final week for it is going to be the week of May 19th to the 13th. For that, we are in the process where we have already ordered a lot of the rapid antigen tests. Those have become a more effective way to protect the health of school communities. And so they've made a lot of those available. MDOE has of over 1.1 million, and we have already made our request, and we expect those to be delivered in the next couple weeks, and we will be working on a plan to be able to distribute those. And so considering with where we are with today's testing and the idea of a couple more weeks of pool testing, right now our plan is to continue to communicate the positive COVID cases to stakeholders. We will not do that universally. We'll just do those to the individual schools, at least between now and the end of pool testing. And that is the Safe Return to School and Continuity of Instruction Plan update. Moving on, we'll go to Sanford School News, and we can bring that up to the screen. I think at our last meeting, we embarrassed Bella. Now it's our turn to embarrass Grace, our school committee, one of our school committee representatives. Kudos to Grace, as she's been selected to represent the state of Maine and is going to receive the 2022 Billy Michael Student Leadership Award from the National World War II Museum. That award is given annually to one student from each state who demonstrates the American spirit in his or her community with the values of leadership, teamwork, tolerance, creativity, and perseverance. Can and should be learned and lived by all Americans, regardless of age. With that, you're probably wondering about Billy Michael. Well, during World War II, when he was 6 years old, in Louisiana, he helped his one-room school win a statewide scrap metal collection contest, understanding that every citizen, no matter their age, can contribute to our victory in the war that changed the world. And so, as winning this award, Grace is going to enjoy an all-expenses-paid trip to New Orleans on June 9th and 10th to attend the American Spirit Awards reception, luncheon, and gala, as well as the Billy Michael Student Leadership Forum with that. So congratulations to Grace. We're proud of you, know that you'll represent Sanford wonderfully and well-deserved with all that you've done and contributed to not only Sanford High School, Sanford Regional Technical Center, but also the Sanford community. So kudos to you. Also, for the awards, happy to announce that our athletic director, Gordy Sauls, received the Martin Ryan CMAA Award of Excellence. That was given out at their recent statewide conference with that. So congratulations to Gordy. Considerations for that are positions held, specific fundraising committee work for both the MPA and the league that we participate in, professional development at both the local and state level, years of service with that. So congratulations to Gordy, well-deserving of that recognition. And also want to recognize that at that MIAAA conference, our retiring field hockey coach, Diana Walker, was also recognized as a MIAAA Heroine of Maine Athletics for her tireless work on Title IX over the years to provide equity in athletics. So congratulations to Coach Walker. SRTC, the Engineering Applications with Robotics program, also known as FRC Team 3451, recently earned the Creativity Award at 2022 New England District an ANG event for FIRST Robotics. Congratulations to them. As noted in the award announcement, that award is sponsored by the Rockwell Automation, and it celebrates creativity that enhances the strategy of play and was intentionally designed and not discovered. What they do is they create a robot intentionally as a sweep and shot, so professionally with a unique design and strategy divine. And want to also point out that our Team 3451 is no stranger to winning this award. They've earned it 3 times, back in 2015, 17, and now 2022. So congratulations, Team 3451, for their three-peat. Moving on to Sanford Middle School, we've got a picture there of junior achievement that was held on March 30th. And there's 4 of our middle school students, Bella, Tiaga, Ray, and Issy. They acted as escorts to the over 10 volunteers who spent the day at the middle school as part of that junior achievement presentations, the Global Marketplace for our 7th graders, and we also had one right before the break, junior achievement for our 8th graders as well. So congratulations there. And then you'll also see in this next slide is the Be the Change Awards for the month of March. The theme back in March was courage. And so we had middle school staff members nominated students that go above and beyond to do the right thing and challenge themselves no matter what others think. And they had 50 students total. So that's awesome to be able to see all the various nominations. And those students were celebrated the week before the April school vacation. Moving on to Carl J. Lamb. Here's a picture of, speaking of courage being the theme for March, there's CGL school counselor Jen Scremin leading their Lamb Time monthly assembly. And then you can also see that prior to the school vacation, an Earth Day presentation by Forrest Knorr and Scott Guzman that took place in the CGL gymnasium. And they also held their 2nd and 3rd grade spring concerts. With that, I had an opportunity to attend that. They sounded great. And then moving on to Margaret Chase Smith School, there's the MCS Mighty Cool Students that are being honored, as well as the Most Improved Students. That's through the Sea Dog program, Portland Sea Dogs program, where they receive a Sea Dog game ticket for next month and also a certificate from Slugger. Congratulations to them. Also, the librarian, Mrs. Allaire at MCS, worked with students on the Chickadee-nominated books, and that allowed our students to vote for their favorite. And the winner was This Way, Charlie, by Karen Lewis, with over 100 votes. With that, and proud to announce that circulation is doubled in the library for the month in terms of that. And also recently, MCS recognized Ed Tex and Mrs. Allaire and their assistant principal, Mr. Bisson, for Library Appreciation Week, Ed Tech Appreciation, and also Assistant Principal Day. And there's a picture of Assistant Principal Bisson with students. Awesome there. And then working in the classroom, Mrs. Collup's second grade class is working on math. So you can see that they're working on measurements, and they get to measure their height and arm span, putting and measuring into perspective. And then also in Mrs. Abel's first grade class, they've been focusing on science, and they did a mystery science, what would happen if there were no windows with that. So congratulations, MCS. Moving over to Sanford Pride, they had a grade 3 reading celebration in the most recent reading unit. Third graders have been reading because of Winn-Dixie. And throughout that story, students have learned to analyze the author's craft and identify character development using a story mountain. And they were able to celebrate that on Friday to mark the end of that unit. And that was able to have that celebration. Also want to announce, we'll probably see it in an upcoming one, but I was also for the cultural fair that Sanford Pride had. I was able to go attend that prior to the school vacation. That was awesome to see the students really handling those presentations for to any interested adults, but also other grades to do that. So I'm sure we'll be hearing about that in the next school news. And also kudos to the SRTC. They had their Celebrating Partnerships event where they bring in the people that are part of their program advisory committees. I was also able to attend that, and that was very well attended for that. And then finally, for Sanford Community Adult Education, they continue on with their high-set exams, booking those with that, and they have a testimonial that a student shared recently after they passed the last of the 5 high-set tests. It took me almost 7 years, but I did it in terms of that. So kudos to that particular person and Community Adult Education for being able to offer that high-set as well as more credit-bearing courses to help students earn that high school diploma. And that is the school news update.
Thank you. Moving on to director's reports, we're going to be hearing from Steve Boussier and Bethany Lambert.
Sorry. Good evening. First of all, tonight I just have an update on a bunch of items in regards to pre-K. We received final notification from the Maine DOE that our contract for the pre-K expansion grant has been approved in the sum of $261,665.31. The approval of the contract allows us to move forward with spending these funds. One of the items that we have to purchase is furniture and supplies. We have put together a list of furniture and the major supplies that will be needed for the expansion of the 3 classrooms. I want to thank Cheryl Fournier for creating the RFQ for these items. The RFQs will be due back on May 16th, with the opening happening at 2 p.m. on that day. In terms of curriculum, the Pre-K Advisory Committee has made a decision on the curriculum. We will be using the Pre-K for Me curriculum offered by the Maine Department of Education. The curriculum is a play-based curriculum intended to support any preschool teacher in providing a rich play-based intentional curriculum that is aligned with Maine's early learning standards. When implemented with fidelity, the Pre-K for Me builds social-emotional, executive function, language, literacy, math, and vocabulary skills, in addition to building students' conceptual knowledge. And training is offered to the Maine DOE at the beginning of August, so we're happy and excited about that. For staff, we have posted for the 3 teaching positions and the 3 ed tech positions. The closing for those positions is May 6th, and we have tentative interviews scheduled for the week of May 16th and the week of May 23rd. In terms of enrollment, as I mentioned the last meeting, our lottery had closed. So the lottery has closed, and initial selection for the pre-K students is complete, with parent and guardian notification going out in the mail either tomorrow or on Wednesday. We were able to offer a slot for everybody that had enrolled in the lottery, which is good news. The next step for those parents is to complete an application, which is due back by May 13th. Once May 13th hits, we will open up pre-K to families that may be on the waiting list. And our pre-K advisory team will be meeting next Thursday to continue our discussions on all things related pre-K. Any questions on pre-K?
I'm just going to bring up the letter that we received today from Colleen Parody regarding the times, it ending at 2 o'clock, which makes it very difficult for working families, in particular staff members, but also many who have to go back to the school and grab their other little ones. I think I was on the understanding that it ended at the same time, and I don't know if there's a way to work around that, if there's a gray area that we can just kind of try to find a way to help families.
Yeah, that has come up in recent weeks about that being a concern. One of the things that if we rolled out the pre-K expansion grant was equity, trying to provide equity between Head Start, SRTC, and the programs that we were opening up in our 3 elementary schools. And so as we look at the program at Head Start is a 6-hour program, and so we tried to mirror it, the program at SRTC and the ones at our 3 elementary schools under that same time frame. One of the things when we originally rolled out the timing for pre-K is we were originally thinking like 8:30 to 2:30, and we talked about 8 to 2. We talked about 9 to 3, and so that's sort of, we landed on that 8 to 2. But it's a discussion, we're going to bring it back to the committee next week and talk more about it. The other piece of that is going to be transportation, and how will the transportation work with that time frame that we have. So in discussion, but that was sort of the rationale as we rolled this out. Yeah. Dropout prevention. Prior to April vacation, our Dropout Prevention Committee met. Every school district in the state of Maine is required to have a Dropout Prevention Committee. The purpose of the committee is to study the dropouts in truancy in kindergarten through grade 12, so it's a system-level view, and to, as a committee, make recommendations for addressing the problems or the issues that we may find, and to submit a report to the committee. Just want to let you guys know that we have met, and we are meeting again next week, and that we hope to have a report back to you sometimes either the end of May or the beginning of June. And that's all I have for my report this evening.
Any questions or comments? No? Thank you so much, Steve.
Hello, everyone. I just have a couple of slides for you to share. My topics aren't very exciting. Well, one is this one. So testing, spring testing window is quickly approaching. So I just wanted to give everybody an update. As you recall, the main educational assessments, or as they're known as the MEAs, used to be different. We used to have different tests. The main DOE has decided to use the NWEAs as our new main educational assessment test. This will be the second year that we've done this. So I just wanted to give everybody a breakdown. For grades 3 through 8 and 11, they will have to take 3 assessments, reading, language, and math. They did that in the fall, so this is a follow-up. So this is going to give us growth over the course of the school year. And remember, that's what NWEA does. It's not trying to show mastery. It's demonstrating in growth in your students, which is what we're looking for. We want to see that they've learned and grown over the time that we've had them. Grades K to 2 and then 9 and 10 only have to take the reading and math. The reason the other grades have to take the language is because those are the grades that the Maine Department of Ed uses for their data. So that's why there's a little bit of a difference. In that testing window, they did expand it. It was going to be just for the month of May, but they did push it from May 2nd all the way out to June 10th, which, I mean, that's our last day. I know the high school already has their schedule worked out because they now have to work it around AP testing. So Matt Peterman has a master schedule. He's got it all planned out, and I'll be touching base with the other admin this week to see what their schedules look like. And then the other piece of the MEA is a science assessment. And again, this is only for 3 specific grades, grades 5, 8, and grade 11. So for grades 5 and 8, the testing window is from May 2nd to May 13th. It's just a 2-week window. For the grade 11, they extended it again through June 10th, and that's because they understand that there is AP testing that goes on in the month of May, so they wanted to give the high school students as much time as possible in order to get all of those different assessments in. And what's nice about the NWEAs, once the kids have tested, we'll have their scores within 24 hours. So it's really fast, a way for us to really get our data. So I will have a report for you before the end of the school year on how we did. Any questions about that?
No?
Okay.
Thank you.
My second slide is about our art show this year. We weren't sure in the fall what COVID was going to look like come spring, so we decided back in September, 1st of October, the art teachers and I decided we're just going to do a virtual art show. So they've been working together, grades K to 12 all year long, and Maggie Warner's been kind of spearheading. She's the department chair at the high school. She's been spearheading the meetings, and Megan Gillis, one of our other high school art teachers, created a website. And so the teachers have been saving student work and uploading it, scanning it and uploading it to this website. So I actually get a sneak peek for you that I had Maggie kind of do a 2-minute video so everybody could kind of see what it looks like. The website will be officially open on May 2nd. We will make sure that all of the principals get the link, so they'll send it out in their weekly newsletters to their parents. We'll make sure that it's on the website, and I'll actually add the little sneak peek video so that it kind of demonstrates and shows people how to maneuver through it. Now, there was sound to it, but unfortunately, Sarah and I it's not working, so I'm going to do my very best to talk my way through this, even though Maggie did a much better job. So this is what the website looks like. So I'm just going to hit play and kind of talk you through it a little bit. So you'll see across the top, there's different teacher names. And let's see, so this one is the high school that Maggie's showing you. And so you'll click to, and you can go to whatever teacher your child has. And this one's the high school, so it has each of the different teachers' classes, then the middle school, and then Sanford Pride. So there's multiple ways to get to your students' work. When you click on one of your teacher's class, they all have kind of a welcome page with a picture of themselves, or some of them have a funny little video with a brief little introduction so that staff can kind of share a little bit about who they are. And that's Maggie's new dog, Freya. And then you go by each of the classes, and whether it's like at the high school, it might have been in the fall or in the spring, and you're going to click on that. So this is drawing from 2022. And you'll see examples of student work with a student's name right underneath it. They've put an unbelievable amount of work into this website, and it is amazing. So now we're going to Miss Lynn. She's at the middle school. So again, she did one of her drawings. So this is kind of represents what she does as an artist. And then you can go by the learning community and the teachers. And then, so this is Mrs. Lewin Grover. She kind of did a cute little video of herself and introduces that she's the art teacher at MCS and CJL. And then they go by the classes. They have some different compositions that they kind of take. They have done an amazing job. So this is what will be our virtual art show for this year. We'll keep it open for at least the month of May, maybe longer. And hopefully everybody will get to enjoy it. Like I said, they've put a lot of work into this. They liked how it turned out, but they really hope they never have to do it again, because they much like doing it in person. And that's kind of our little sneak peek of our art show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, they did an amazing job. You guys are going to love it. It's very professional, so I just can't wait. And that's all I have for you guys tonight.
Too bad they don't want to do it again, because I was thinking it's so
I know,
awesome.
we could probably sweet talk them a little bit. I don't know. Might have to throw an incentive in there for them, but it has been a labor of love for them, for sure.
I'm sure. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Right. Very good. Thank you.
Any questions for Beth? Nope.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on. No old business, resignations, retirements, staff appointments, and staff transfers.
Well, we do have one item in new business. We did have to table two. I just want people to realize that the reason we're tabling the food service contract is not for any particular reason. We were not able to have that executive session before today's meeting to review that in depth. And so we will reschedule that executive session to be able to do that. And we'll also try to be able to do that in a timely way. So we're not going to have that tonight. Same thing with Cheryl's financials. I feel like I'm at the, what is it, the Oscars or the Emmy, where you have to cut time because of an agenda. Well, that got cut, so that'll be coming back in our next meeting. But one item that I would like to address tonight is item number 3. That is the school calendar. Sarah, if you can bring up the school calendar up onto our, up onto the screen. You may be saying, hey, superintendent, didn't we already approve our school calendar? And yes, we did. But there were a couple errors with that I accept responsibility for. And rather than approve those immediately, I wanted to wait, give it some time, because as you know, with SRTC, we have sending schools that we have to be able to make sure that our schedules kind of jive. And so I'm comfortable right now going forward. The things that we needed to change on the updates, the overall calendar really does not change. The only thing that is changing is we did have a date in November for the voting day that we were going to have the high school and the technical center closed on that day, but we had done that previously back in the last presidential election because of the turnout. We're not going to be able to close it this year. We will be able to continue to have school at the high school and technical center. We've got a nice setup there that we can work. It's going to inconvenience some parking on that day, but we have people who can come through the after-hours entrance to be able to come right in, vote, get out of there, and it works out quickly, and we can still have school. So that was on the old schedule as a carryover. We have removed that. And then the other things on there that we also updated were the high school graduation. That's going to take place on June 7th, and the Sanford Community Adult Ed graduation, which will be 1 week later on the 14th. Those dates were incorrect on our last one, so I'm hoping that I can, with this amended schedule, the school committee can take action to approve that, and then we can get that out on our website and start to deliver that, because people are starting to look ahead to next year. So those are the changes and the adjustments made, hoping for a motion.
Okay, recommendation to amend the 2022-2023 school calendar as adjusted. John, seconded. Mapes, yeah.
So I'm probably the only one in the room that doesn't know this, but how many snow days do we have, and what is the final day? It's just here June 6th, I think it said. It was a funky winter. I don't remember.
Oh, for this school year?
Yeah.
Well, this school year,
it wasn't to do with this.
typically what we do is we'll count out the number of days, we'll have a last day of school, and then we also kind of typically add 5 extra days on there as what could potentially be snow days. We did that this year, and I don't want to jinx us, I did put my snow blower away this weekend. So we're hoping that we had 3 snow days this year, traditional snow days, so we will be getting out on Friday, June 10th. If you look at that schedule we have there, I think the last day was, 1 second.
So, Paula, I did goof. I was thinking about next year, but I meant this year. Yeah. The calendar just prompted my question.
Right, so as we look ahead next year, if there's no snow days, that will be on June 6th, but I don't think we've ever had a year with no snow days, so we will plan for those, and usually what we do is you look at that calendar with June 6th, we do add those 5 days in blue, and those are usually just to cover for those snow days.
Okay, so now we do have a recommendation for, seconded by John, first by Mapes, yes? Okay, all in favor? All in favor to amend the 2022-23 school calendar as adjusted. No old business, and now, sorry, I was trying to rush the meeting along, resignations, retirement, staff appointments, and staff transfers. Matt?
Sure, got a couple of resignations to announce. Emily Carter, 4th grade teacher at MCS. Melissa Haffenecker, science teacher at the high school. Jamie Lovejoy, 2nd grade teacher at MCS. Also a couple, want to thank them and wish them the best of luck. And also, a couple big retirements to announce. Lori Ackroyd, kindergarten teacher at MCS, and Gordy Sauls, our athletic director for Sanford School Department for many years. Want to thank both Lori and Gordy. Gordy's date is October 31st, so that's something that we're going to need to talk a little bit more about as the school committee in terms of going about for that replacement. But a big thank you to Lori and Gordy for all that they've been able to give to our Sanford School Department, to our students, and the Sanford community.
Hey, can I just make one comment? I just want to give a shout out to Lori. My sons both had Lori as a kindergarten teacher, and I've actually volunteered in her class over the years, and she's just a great, when you want to talk about someone that fits the perfect position, she fit the perfect position. So it's going to be sadly missed, and I just want to put a big shout out to Lori.
Thank you, John. Moving on, staff appointments, a couple to announce. JV soccer coach, girls JV soccer coach Magnus Lewis at the high school, and Amanda Marsters is, for kitchen personnel at the high school. Also want to announce a transfer in kitchen personnel. That's going to be increasing the hours for Jessica McKinney, going from 4.25 at the high school to 5 hours for that. And then there is one nomination that we're going to need to take action on tonight, and my recommendation is to nominate Carrie Hansen as the Director of Technology, replacing Joan Wright. Carrie's been with us this last year in kind of an assistant Director of Technology role to help him be able to work closely with Joan as we're looking at that transition. And so I'm very pleased. I met with Carrie following the interview committee's recommendation, and so I am proud to recommend him to nominate Carrie Hansen as Director of Technology.
Okay. I'm drawing a blank.
Need a motion.
Thank you. Need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations.
Okay, seconded. Thank you very much. All in favor? Thank you. All in favor? Okay, next is policies and procedures.
We have one new policy tonight, policy GBGB, which is workplace bullying. Beginning in October of 2021, local school boards are required to have a policy that addresses workplace bullying that was stated in Public Law, Chapter 471. The policy has been drafted to meet the legal requirements while then ensuring that employee discrimination, harassment complaints are addressed under the appropriate complaint procedures, such as sexual harassment, and discrimination. And would you like me to read the policy?
Do we need a whole reading of the policy?
I don't believe we do.
I don't think we do. Thank you.
Any questions?
I just want to clarify, so most policies are usually student-related. This is employee-related, right?
This is employee-related, yep.
Do you want to just talk about the background, what we've done to this point, and how we arrived at the policy, Steve?
Yeah, so one of the things when a new policy comes out, we consult, first of all, with Drummond and Woodson, which is our legal firm that we use in the school department. And so they provide for us a policy, a sample policy. The next association that we work with, the Maine School Board Association and the Maine Superintendent's Association, they also provide us with a sample policy. Sometimes those policies align perfectly with very little change. In this instance, that was the case. So we were in firm grounding from there. One of the things that we did once we had that, we looked to our school union. We ran it by the teachers union to look at the complaint procedures to see if they agreed with the policy, first of all, but then to see if they agreed with the chain of command. If you have an issue, who do you tell? And then, so we went to the school union, the teachers union, and it got their feedback. We then brought it to the administrative team. The administrative team had a chance to review it. They gave us very little feedback. They didn't see any issues with it. We reviewed it with our policy committee, Paula, and that's what led us to here with you tonight with the new policy. And that's typical of the format we take with all policies that we review. Some of them are just minor adjustments, but one that's new and major, we put it through that lens of development. So,
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion? To accept. Make a motion to accept the first reading of policy GBGB as presented.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Amy. All in favor? All in favor. Okay, items for future agendas, calendar announcements.
Sure. Looking to have an executive session next Monday. That's probably going to have to be a combination to continue our work as a school committee in follow-up to when we met with Dan Rose recently. And that'll be an executive session. And we also have to have an executive session to review the Acton contract. That's something that's also come up. We're looking to be able to do that May 2nd, beginning at 5 p.m. And then our next official school committee meeting, the two in May, will be Monday, May 9th, and Monday, May 23rd, both of those starting at 6 right here in the chambers. Also, just want to announce that the Wellness Committee is going to meet tomorrow, Tuesday, 3:30 via Zoom. And the Sanford Legacy Foundation, not meeting this week, but meeting the week after on Wednesday, May 4th. As was already mentioned by our student representatives, the National Technical Honor Society ceremony, that's going to take place May 3rd at 6 p.m. in the Sanford Performing Arts Center. We've already talked about the Sanford Middle School Actors Guild getting their chance to take the stage at the Performing Arts Center this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30. Tickets $8 for adults, $6 for senior citizens. And then also, this week is National Volunteer Appreciation Week, so we want to take the time to thank all of our volunteers who help support the Sanford School Committee, especially our PTAs, for all of the work and everything that they do to be able to help support our students and our staff and our teachers and our schools. And then next week, May 2nd through the 6th, will be Teacher Appreciation and Staff Appreciation Week for that. So those are some of the upcoming calendar announcements.
Okay. Anybody have anything, last words, anything to say? Last words, sorry, John. I scared you a little bit. Okay. Make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:28?
7:26.
7:26. Seconded by John and John. All in favor? All in favor. 7:26.